Welcome to our Stonefield Query for Heat presentation. In this demonstration, I'm going to show you how to create a quick report using Stonefield Query for Heat. Before I begin, let's take a moment to preview the report I intend to create during this session. As you can see from the preview being displayed, I'm going to demonstrate how to create a calls and assignments report using Stonefield Query for Heat. During this presentation, I will demonstrate how to set up grouping, filtering, and summary information in a Stonefield Query report. For now, I'm going to close the preview window so that I can create a new quick report. Before creating a new report, I may want to create a new folder in which to store the report I intend to create. I can do this by selecting the folder option from the drop-down menu in the Report Explorer interface. To create a new folder, I then enter in the name of the folder I would like to create. Today I'm going to create a calls folder. The selected groups list in the new folder dialog box allows me to specify which user groups have access to the folder that I am creating. By default, the Everyone group has access to a new folder. For the time being, I will accept the default settings. However, I can come back and change these settings at a later time. Back in the Report Explorer interface, I can then select the Quick Report option from the drop-down menu to create a new quick report. Stonefield Query then brings up step number 1 of a 6-step wizard-based interface. In step number 1, I need to provide main report information. I'm going to call this report my Calls and Assignments report. In step number 1, I can also specify which folder I would like to store my report in. I can also add any comments I feel are appropriate. The comments will be displayed on the Information tab in the Report Explorer interface when this report is selected from the list. For now, I'm going to hit the Next button to move ahead to step number 2. Step number 2 is the major step. It is the data selection step. This is where I select which fields I would like to see in this report. Today I'm creating a Calls and Assignments report, so I'm going to select fields from the Heat Call Logging Information table and the Heat Call Assignment Information table. After I've added fields to the selected fields list, I can preview the basic report by hitting the Preview button. In the Preview window, you can see that Stonefield Query has collected all of the information I have requested. However, the basic report is not formatted exactly the way that I'd like to see it. In order to format this report, I will close the preview window and return to step number 2. The first thing I'm going to do back in step number 2 is group on the Group Assigned field. I can do this by selecting the Group Assigned field from the selected fields list and hitting the Properties button. In the Properties dialog box, I select the Grouping tab and enable the Group on this field option. Grouping on that Group Assigned field will group all of the records for a particular group assigned together and list the unique group assigned entries in ascending or descending order. For now, I'll hit the OK button to accept this grouping. In step number 2, I can also modify the location of the fields in this report by dragging and dropping the fields into what I feel are appropriate locations. I can also add summary information to this report. For example, if I want to sum in the elapsed hours field, I can do this by selecting the elapsed hours field from the selected fields list and hitting the Properties button. In the Properties dialog box, I select the Format tab. On the Format tab, I can use the drop-down Summary option to sum on the elapsed hours field. I can then hit the Next button to move ahead to step number 3. In step number 3, I can set up filtering conditions for this report. Filtering conditions restrict what information is included in the report based on specific criteria. In order to add a filter to the report, I hit the Filter button. Then in the Filter dialog box, in order to add a filtering condition, I hit the Add button. This brings up the Filter Condition dialog box. Using the Filter Condition dialog box, I can access any of the tables and any of the fields in my database. Today I'm going to create a filter on the Date of Assignment field. Once I've selected the field that I'd like to filter on, I need to select an operator. Today I'm going to select the IsBetween operator so that I can set up a specific date range. I'm then going to use the drop-down calendar boxes to select the date range that I'm interested in. Before I accept this filtering condition, I'm going to enable the Ask at Runtime option. When the Ask at Runtime option is enabled, Stonefield Query will display a dialog box when the report is run, which allows the user to accept the filtering condition, modify the filtering condition, or ignore the filtering condition on a run-by-run basis. Today I've only set up one filtering condition. However, Stonefield Query does support the ability to set up multiple filtering conditions in order to meet specific reporting requirements. In order to add another filtering condition, I would hit the Add button. For now, I'm going to hit the OK button to accept the filter I have created. I can then hit the Next button to move ahead to step number 4. In step number 4, I can set up the sorting for this report. You will notice that Stonefield Query indicates that the initial sort order is group assigned in bold on this interface. This is because I chose to group on the group assigned field. Inside of that grouping structure, I can sort on any of the fields I have chosen to include in this report. I'm going to sort on the Date of Assignment field by moving that field over to the Selected Sort Fields list. I can then hit the Next button to move ahead to step number 5. In step number 5, I can set up the formatting options. This is where I can make changes to the report that affect the entire report. Here I can modify the header, the footer, the orientation. I can also select the template I would like to use for this report. After setting up the formatting information for this report, I can hit the Next button to move ahead to step number 6. Step number 6 is the final step. This is where I can set up the security options for this report. The security options dictate who can access the report and what they can do with it. After establishing the security options for the report, I hit the Finish button to save the report. After saving the report, I can print or preview this report by using the appropriate button in the Stonefield Query interface. You'll notice that when I do hit the Preview button, Stonefield Query presents a dialog box. This dialog box is the Ask at Runtime dialog box and is being displayed because I enabled the Ask at Runtime option when I created the Date of Assignment filtering condition. For today, I'm going to accept the Date of Assignment filtering condition the way I have it set up by hitting the OK button. Stonefield Query will then generate the report. And that is all there is to creating a quick report using Stonefield Query for heat. For additional information on creating and customizing Stonefield Query reports, please visit our website at www.stonefieldquery.com.